Welcome to JGTCR, I'm Cope, and today we are tuning the Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat. Let's get into it. In factory trim, this Charger is a hefty and torquey drive all the way, and it's loose in the caboose to boot. The handling is very lazy. We have to make sure that we are well positioned for corner entry or suffer copious amounts of understeer. The steering seems to work well if we use the Charger's desire to slide for assistance. The power is lazy and torquey, and with the weight this Dodge carries, it's a recipe for wheel spin and drift, but not in a good way. The power delivery is too aggressive to keep traction, but not aggressive enough to propel the Charger when it has traction. This ends up leaving us in a limbo catch-22 situation where we are damned if we do and damned if we don't. This Charger will constantly snip-snap between traction and wheel spin, and finding the balance between the two can be a very tedious task indeed. The brakes are stable but take quite a long time to wash off speed, so make sure to move brake markers accordingly. Let's collect our time. 7 minutes 31 seconds flat. And now the race tune. We have managed to put together a fairly aggressive tune for the Charger SRT Hellcat. We had to deal with issues of both over and understeer. The understeer was mild, so the body height adjustment being lower at the front than the rear and the roll bar being softer at the front than the rear stabilized that situation. The oversteer was brought under control by the ballast of 160 kilos at a ballast positioning of 40 over the rear wheels. This allowed us to run maximum diff settings, giving us more turning ability and control. Let's head back out to the Nürburgring. The Charger Hellcat is most certainly a handful at the best of times, and even more so when we are pushing its limits. The handling characteristics are mildly tripolar. They can be brilliant, indifferent, and horrible all in one corner. It will switch from manageable to understeer and then grip too much, kicking the tail out, come good again, and drive off. Very strange indeed. The power available is great, but how it is delivered really spoils the experience. The bottom line is that it is just too torquey for its own good. Anywhere in the rev range has the potential to wheel spin, and it loves kicking the tail out. A slow squeeze and release of the throttle is critical for maintaining control. The brakes are very solid and do an awesome job of slowing us down and maintaining stability while doing so. Let's collect our time. 6 minutes 12.4 seconds. On to the drift tune. The torquey tail end was still an issue when drifting. As such, we have chosen to go the no supercharger upgrade route. This gives us better response and control of our inputs. We also reduced the differential settings and increased the ballast. Let's drift Suzuka. This Charger was one moody drift car while being tuned. It really didn't know what it wanted. We had to use some out-of-the-box tuning to get around to this point where we can drift reasonably well. The handling is great. We never really face any issues with steering and almost always feel in control up front. The power has had to be nerfed as using a supercharger upgrade just made it too unpredictable. The power delivery is still considerably aggressive, but it has been diluted with the tune. We can now drive much more forcefully and be forgiven in most cases if we go too far. However, this vehicle does prefer some finesse while drifting. For optimal results, it's best to keep RPM constant at around 6,000 RPM. This seems to be where the Charger thrives. When all is said and done, the Charger Hellcat is a reasonable drift car with enough grunt to get the job done. However, we should be aware that the power may be a bit too eager to get to work and adjust our driving accordingly. And that's all we have for you today, so until next time, keep racing!